Hey love, God showed me that discipline is worship. So I made 21 days of workout to honor my body and my purpose. We're on day 13, 14 to 16 minutes a day. If your spirit is saying yes, come join me. Link in my bio. Let's grow together. 8 days left. Week 3 is testing you and you are passing. Now let's begin. You move from child pose, you come all the way up, breathe in, drop your belly, look up, breathe out and sit back, round your spine to child pose, just like that. Perfect. Now 3 more times just like that. And the third one. Great. Next, world greatest stretch. 7 on each side. You step your right leg, walk the right side first. And 7. Great. Step back to plank. Let's have a flow before you move to the other side. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. And breathe back. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Great. Now take it to the other side. Step your left leg forward. 7 world greatest stretch on the side. And 7. Perfect. Next, 45 bodyweight squats. And 45. Perfect. Next, lunge with twist. Now we're going to have 3 variations. First variation, you bring your left hand down, your right hand up. Now you swing back and forth with the hand, just like that. You bring the left hand down, take your right hand all the way to the back knee, just swinging, working your obliques. We're just working different type of twist there. Number 3, you swing again, and bring it back down. Number 4, take your right hand back, great, and swing it back down. Perfect. Number 5, swing it, engage your core. Great. Next, open your hands wide like a helicopter fan and just swing front and back. Engage your core. Number 3, 4, look to the front and to the side. 5. Great. Next, stick your right hand to the left leg and open up to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now step back to downward facing dog. Walk your legs on a spot. Bend one knee and bend the other. Straight the other. Take it to the other side. Just switch in and engage your hips to, have a good stretch. And take it to the other side. Left leg comes forward. Whichever leg you did, take it to the other side now. Right hand down, left hand goes up. Swing. Take the left hand to the right knee and left hand up and right hand up. 2, just like that. You swing. 3, engage your core, strong legs. 4, and the last one. 5. Perfect. Now switch to the other variation. Perfect. Now switch. Great. Now we're done with the warm-up. I'm going over to strength circuit, starting with 25 push-ups. And 25. Perfect. Next, 25 jump squats.
And 25. Perfect. Next, single leg glute bridge hold. 45 seconds on each side. And 45 seconds. Perfect. Switch sides. And 45 seconds. Perfect. Next, forearm plank. 1 minute. And perfect. 1 minute. Next, come to standing. Reverse lunge. 15 each sides. And 15. Perfect. Switch sides. Take it to the other side. And 15. Perfect. Next, side plank, 1 minute on each side. Perfect 1 minute. Now switch sides. And perfect 1 minute. Next, bird dog, 12 on each side. Perfect. Next circuit, core and flex, starting with 15 dead bug each side.
like a this, like a that, like a this. Bodyweight Squats R. Winner man, I win conquest. As I just cover me, don't test. Like a this, like a that, like a this. Yo, TABLIZ God, not a building. Baba loke and sound, Baba loke and sound. Pick my call, make I no cry. I don't the call, make you call back. Blessings upon blessings, amen. Money for the spending, amen. This music go pay me, amen. Amen, amen, amen. 1 milli, 2 milli, amen. We go fly overseas, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Amen. Bodyweight Squats R. Winner man, I win conquest. As I just cover me, don't test. Like a this, like a that, like a this. Lost in my cut over this. Music, Baba look and make way. This girl, no one miss her. Everybody belly away. Shine bright like a diamond, I pray. On my knees, I feel the pain. From the sunny to the raining days. Let the heavens answer me. Baba look and sound. Baba look and sound. Pick my call, make I no cry. I don't the call, make you call back. Blessings upon blessings, amen.
And perfect. Next, we round up with pigeon. 1 minute on each side. Perfect. Now swing your back leg to the front for logwood, wood log stretch. Breathe in and out 10 times.
Yo, TABLIZ God, not a building. Baba loke and sound, Baba loke and sound. Pick my call, make I no cry. I don't the call, make you call back. Blessings upon blessings, amen. Money for the spending, amen. This music go pay me, amen. Amen, amen, amen. 1 milli, 2 milli, amen. We go fly overseas, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Amen. Bodyweight Squats R. Winner man, I win conquest. As I just cover me, don't test. Like a this, like a that, like a this. Lost in my cut over this. Music.
And 10. Perfect. Now unbind your legs, swing your right leg to the back. Pigeon on the left side now. 1 minute.
Like a that, like a this. I sing holy, holy to the heavenly.
And 1 minute. Perfect. Swing the back leg to the front. Wood logwood stretch. Breathe in and out deeply 10 times.
Yo, TABLIZ girl, not the building. Pick my call, make I no cry. I don't call, make you call back. Blessings upon blessings, amen.
And perfect. Day 13 done. See you tomorrow, day 14. It's Answer playing us out. Do well to subscribe, like, and comment. Share the video to your friends and loved ones.
Amen. Amen. Bye bye,